Hi, this is Steph with Belladonna Dyes, and today we're going to make a double fan fold. For this project, you want to start by turning it inside out and then centering it using the sleeve inside the other sleeve technique. Now there's a lot of extra fabric here, so it's not as simple as a t-shirt, but it's also not difficult. For those of you that follow along, you know that I really like to take my time with this step. And centering your shirt is the foundation of your tie-dye, so you want to make sure that you do take your time with it and get it right. Once I get the sleeve tucked inside the other sleeve, I'm going to work on getting all of the seams lined up. And having the shirt turned inside out makes it a lot easier to see your seams, so that's why I choose to do it. Yes, there's the speckling, but the truth of the matter is if you have speckles on the inside, you're going to have speckles on the outside because it's dye. It just shows up inside, outside. It really doesn't matter. But I do find that being able to look at my seams makes it a lot easier. So notice the big seam right up here at the top of the screen. If it wasn't turned inside out, I would have that giant seam times 2 bunched up on the inside. Your project will just lay a lot nicer on the table if it's turned inside out. So the project is pretty much centered at this point, but I still have this big flap of fabric. That's the waterfall portion. That's the part that makes it look like you're wearing a scarf. So I decided that I would tuck it in on the inside because I felt like it would make pleating it a lot easier. Using a washable marker and a piece of kite string that's wrapped around the marker, mark out your pattern. Now you want to pleat along this line, making that line as straight as possible. And I want these pleats to at least be 1 inch tall. So that's why I broke out my little protractor so I can measure it every so often just to make sure that I'm staying on track. Now that you have it all pleated up, it's time to secure it. And for this project, I'm choosing to use rubber bands. You could also use kite string, or you could even use sinew if you wanted to. Sinew would create those white lines. I didn't want the white lines for this project, and I just felt like the rubber bands are quick and easy, and it doesn't have to be super tight because this is an ice dye. So why not go with quick and easy, right? And I did get these rubber bands off of Amazon, and I do have links for everything that I use for tie-dye down below in the description box, so go ahead and check that out. Now that the project is secure, you need to build yourself some type of a ice barrier. And I usually like to use the silicone cake molds, but they're all in use. So for this project, I'm going to use foil. And I really like the foil that you can get from Costco, that food service foil. It's heavy duty, and so it seems to hold up a lot better than what you can just grab at the grocery store. But if all you can get is the, like Dollar Tree or grocery store foil, it works. Either way, you do need to secure it by using clothespins and attaching them to the rack. Otherwise, when you put the ice on, it's just going to collapse. Now it's time for the fun part. We get to add the dye. And for this one, I wanted to go a little wild and pick colors that I don't normally put together. And so I just went into each of the tones and I picked my favorite color at the moment for this and just went a little crazy. And I'm happy that I did because I love these bright colors. Once you have all of your dye on it, grab a mask and give your project a quick little sprinkle of soda ash for good measure. Look at how gorgeous those colors look instantly when you add the ice. I just absolutely love it. And I got this nugget ice machine off of Amazon, and if you're able to get yourself one, I highly recommend it. It refills itself in like an hour, so you can stay pretty busy making ice dyes. I came back and checked it after the ice had melted, and there is a lot of undissolved dye, but there were a few areas that looked like they could just use a little bit of a touch-up, so I just added just a little more dye. Since we're going to add a second layer of ice, you definitely want to give it a quick little sprinkle of soda ash because you want to keep the pH up around 10.5 to 11. Let the project batch for 24 hours after the ice melts. It's been 24 hours since the ice is melted, and now it's time for the rinse out. And you want to start by using cold water to rinse away any soda ash that might still be reacting within the fabric, and then gradually increase the water up to hot and rinse until the water runs pretty much clear. From here, I take it to the washing machine and I do a plain hot water cycle. I do a second hot water cycle using Kirillon, which I get from Dharma, and it's a textile detergent. And then I do a third hot water cycle using Millsoft, which I also get from Dharma, and that's a industrial softener that brings softness back into the fabric after the dyeing process. And then I put it in the dryer, and we'll come back and we'll see our results. Well, here it is, guys. Here's our double fan fold ice dyed waterfall jacket, and I think it turned out amazing. I love these colors. I love the jewel tones. They remind me of Mardi Gras. It's like wearing a party on your clothing. And this is my type of tie-dye. I prefer bright, wild, crazy, fun colors. So what do you guys think? Please leave me some comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and then click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And remember, have fun tie-dyeing.